Hey everyone, I'm Sandy Mangat, the head of marketing at Pocus, and I'm super excited to talk to you today about generating more pipeline in 2024 with product-led sales. As we've seen over the last few years, product-led growth adoption has really taken off. Product-led growth is where you are putting your product out there for customers to try before they buy. So whether that's through a freemium or a free trial on your website. Some verticals are better suited to product-led than others, and adoption has really taken off with developer tools, marketing tools, and especially if you're serving SMBs, you're really going to want to be product led because it's essentially become table stakes. As you can see on this heat map, the folks at OpenView did a survey and found that product led has become table stakes across almost every vertical for small businesses, and it's starting to make inroads even with enterprise. And there's a very good reason why product led is taking off, and specifically product led sales is taking off. So, in this chart, you can see what influences fast growth in 2023 based on OpenView's survey. And tracking product qualified leads and product qualified accounts is the winner, clear winner here. So, today in my session, I want to talk about how you can assess whether product led sales is right for you. We're going to talk about what it actually means to have a product-led sales approach in your go-to-market, and then a quick 5-step routine for how you can get started with product-led sales. So what is product-led sales? Um, Quite simply, product-led sales is a go-to-market approach that relies on the existing users of your product to drive revenue, including how do you find conversions, upsells, cross-sells, and expansion opportunities by looking at folks who are using your product and using their behavior to tell your sales team when they should be engaging with them in order to find these really high potential revenue opportunities. Comparing it to traditional sales led, where the product interaction happens at the bottom of the funnel, in a product led sales motion, your customers are getting into your product earlier on in their buying journey. And as a result, you can use that valuable data about how they're using your product to qualify them and use those product usage signals to identify which playbooks your sales team should be running. So as you can see on the left hand side, you have traditional sales led, where you're looking at metrics like marketing qualified leads. In contrast with product led sales, you're looking at product qualified leads and product qualified accounts and using that data to help your sales team prioritize where they should be spending their time. And we've done a survey here at Pocus of PLG companies, and 97% of them have a sales team or plan to add a sales team. So, this myth that the product can sell itself and self-serve is all you need is really already been debunked, and folks are adding sales teams. We did a survey here at Pocus, and we found that 97% of companies are either planning to add a sales team or already have a sales team. So, this myth that products can just sell themselves through a self serve motion truly is a myth. And most companies are already adopting a product led sales motion or plan to adopt a product led sales motion in 2023. And there's good reason why product led sales. It's better for buyers because they can try before they buy and they only get human assistance when needed. It's better for sellers because they can fill their pipeline with buyers who are already using and loving the product, and so it's not a aggressive hard sale. And it's better for business. You can get lower cost of acquisition, higher conversions on PQAs and PQLs than you would for marketing qualified leads. So now that we've talked about how to get what is product-led sales, let's talk about how you can get started with product-led sales. There are broadly 5 steps to layer in product-led sales to your existing motion. So first step is going to be we're going to assess where you are currently on the spectrum of product-led. We're going to align on your objectives. Then we're going to choose one goal for your first product-led sales experiment. Then we're going to talk about how you analyze your product usage data. And then we're going to put it all together in a playbook you can hand over to your team. So, step one, assess where you are today. On this spectrum, we see on one end pure play PLG. So, you've got a self serve motion, you are growing through product virality and lots of growth marketing tactics, but really the product is doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. On the other end of the spectrum, you have sales led. And this is where your sales team is really going outbound and getting you those customers through ABM or an event strategy. And then in the middle is where you have this hybrid product led sales motion. We're using the best of product led growth and the best of sales led and combining those two motions to pinpoint the highest potential opportunities for conversion. There are a few reasons why you might want to build out a PLS motion, and it depends on where you are today on that spectrum. If you're starting off on that pure play PLG side of the house, you might be looking to add a product led sales motion because you want to move up market and get more enterprise customers. You would like to address a larger target addressable market, or you want to improve your customer experience. Um, Conversely, from the sales led side, you might be wanting to move down market and address SMBs. Maybe you want to accelerate velocity in your sales cycle. One thing that they both hold in common is that a product led sales motion is going to improve the customer experience because you're really going where the customer is. You're meeting them where they are, and you're really finding the best moments to engage with those customers. A perfect contrast here would be on the PLG side, you can think of the company Calendly. They've really grown through that bottoms up self serve motion, and they've now started to focus up market in turning that individual usage into enterprise contracts. And then conversely, you have a company like Chili Piper in the same space that has been traditionally very sales led, and they're now thinking about how can we layer in a freemium or a free trial offer and move down market and maybe accelerate our sales cycle and target a potentially larger pool of smaller companies. Once you've figured out where you are on the spectrum, it will help you align on what your objective should be with product led sales. Everything should be driven from these objectives. Company OKRs would be a good place to start, your revenue goals, and any other strategic priorities. Um, One common pitfall that happens when folks are adopting product led sales is that they're going to try and want to tackle all of these different objectives. But what we advise is that you should have no more than one revenue goal or company level goal that you are using to drive this product led sales motion. So start with one goal, whether that's making customers delusionally happy, you are focusing on new business, maybe it's focusing on expansion, maybe it's churn mitigation, whatever it is. To get started, you ideally want to focus on one of these. Based on those company goals and revenue KPIs or other priorities, you want to evaluate your current go to market motions and their ability to help you achieve those goals. So, when we think about the three sales motions that we saw on that spectrum, on one hand, there's PLG, which is self serve user acquisition. On the other end, you have sales led, which is all about that top down sale. And then in the middle, sales assist, where you're having more of a hybrid motion. So each of these better serves different goals. So if your goal is to grow free user base really quickly, you're not super concerned about landing within larger accounts at the moment. You really want to use data to drive that self-serve user acquisition. What we're talking about today is the sales assisted motion, product led sales, which is great for when you're thinking about converting an existing free user base or perhaps upselling larger deal sizes and even expansion. Most companies will have a mix of these different sales motions to hit their goals. But again, for getting started with product led sales, you really want to pick one goal that you can align to the product led sales motion and build your playbooks around that. So step three, choosing that goal. There's a number of different goals that you have at your disposal here, from getting your free trial users to value faster with a sales assist motion, Maybe you want to convert your existing user base of free users to paid. Maybe you want to expand. You can see that each of these goals aligns to a different reason why you might want to run them. So for the sales assist motion, maybe you're seeing a lot of drop off. Maybe you have a very complex onboarding process, and a sales assist motion can be super helpful here to get those users to value and perhaps mitigate that drop off that might be happening in your onboarding flow. Expansion may be a great place to focus if you have a strong base of users on your least expensive plan and they're constantly hitting paywall limits. Or maybe you have strong footholds within strategic accounts within one department, but you want to jump to the next department where there's large upside potential for an enterprise account. Um, Looking at these different options, you want to assess based on your goal which playbook is going to be the best one for your team to run. Step 4 is where things get really fun. So once you've identified that goal, you want to start actually assessing your existing data. So you want to look at your existing product usage data, data about your customers, like their ICP fit, their industry, their size, and you want to start to think about how you can group these different signals into a product qualified lead or product qualified account score in order to power your playbooks. The goal here is to think about which signals are going to be most predictive of a conversion to that goal. So if your goal is to find expansion opportunities, you want to work backwards from the existing opportunities that you've been able to expand and think about, were there any specific product usage signals that all of these accounts have in common? Is there anything that I can look at from a champion perspective? Were there any patterns in who the champion was? Maybe it was an IT director, or everyone was a senior manager of a specific function. Looking at all of those data points is going to help you assess which signals are going to help the sales team really engage at the right moments. And this is where, a tool would be helpful to help you identify these product signals, but you can certainly start by just working backwards and asking the qualitative questions of your team and using that as your starting point. Last step is putting it all together. So you've thought about your goal, you now have some idea of data. Perhaps you have a product qualified lead score or a product qualified account score. Now you want to use this 3Ws framework for putting it all together in a playbook. So the first part of the playbook is who. So who is eligible for this playbook? Is it everybody who's a trial user, paid plan? Are they folks on your enterprise segment? Users in the last 7 days? So identifying who is eligible. Then you want to think about when. This is when your product signals come into action. So when is the right time for you to engage with this customer? Is it when they hit a certain PQA score? Is it when week over week they're increasing their usage on a specific feature? Is it senior IT user signing up? This is where that analysis you did in step 4 is going to come into handy. And then last step is, what is the next best action? So based on what they're doing in the product and their usage, you want to define what your sales team should do next. Is it sending a personalized email? Is it adding them to a sequence? Is it doing something in the CRM? Is it an in-app message? That's going to be largely driven from understanding of that product signal. And that's it. Those are your 5 steps to getting started with product-led sales. Thank you so much for coming to this session. And if you'd like to learn more about product-led sales or how to run through any part of that process, go to pocus.com and request a demo. I'd be happy to share how you can get started with product-led sales.